everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the session. Please let me know if I am properly audible and visible because I wasn't able to figure it out whether I am live or not. But now I can see myself. So if you can confirm once, that would be really, really helpful. Am I audible, visible? Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. So those who are watching me for the first time, I am Niharika John Mehra, a faculty of English on CGBMentors. I have been teaching English for more than 11 years now and I have regular sessions on YouTube currently. यहाँ पर इस चैनल पर क्लासेस ट्यूसडेज थर्सडेज और सैटरडे को होती हैं and we are picking up one topic like two topics. One class is for comprehension based, another is vocabulary based, another is grammar based. So we are covering top 100 questions of each type. Okay, so that's what we are doing in these classes. Now apart from this, we have classes on a main channel. So Monday, Wednesdays and Friday EPFO classes 1:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. we have this class where I cover editorial analysis, and this is something very helpful for any of you preparing for any exam जिसमें English पूछी जाती है. Okay, so make sure you attend all the sessions. For the PDFs, free PDF, join our Telegram. Details are in the description below. फटाफट like और share कर दो, and yeah, we are good to start. We are gonna begin with a para general. Remember the pointers which I have given you earlier. Try to make pairs, then bring those pairs together. Try to follow inverted pyramid, inverted triangle formula where you first mention anything that is broad in nature, broad information, and then you narrow it down. Okay, so that's what you have to do, and then come to the answer. So I hope like share sabhi ne kar diya hoga. Subscribe if you haven't till now, and there is our first question. So you have to rearrange the sentences, plus you have to find one odd one out. I'll give you good 3.5 minutes for this. Rearrange rest as well. You can check your answers by the time I reveal the answer. The Industrial Revolution, the period in which agrarian and handicraft economy shifted rapidly to industrial and machine manufacturing dominated ones. This began in United Kingdom in the UK in 18th century. So when this began and what it was. The Industrial Revolution was the engine behind various advances in medicine. Second sentence talks about medicine. As communication between physicians in different areas improved, details behind new cures, etc., resulting in better care. Okay, so we have again little bit about medicine, medical world that is in R. Using machine manufacturing refinements to these instruments, कुछ होंगे instruments, definitely instruments यहाँ mentioned है. So first of all, the topic is with respect to advancement in medicine, in the field of medicine. It is not about industrial revolution. So definitely P is up. Okay, P has to go because it simply explains कि industrial revolution क्या था. Now, T and S are a strong pair because T says industrialization allowed medical instruments such as all these to be produced more quickly, and using them could help us more. So T and S will come together. Now, Q is the beginning that it was industrial revolution that helped advance in medicine. So Q helps us to know कि medicine में industrial revolution का क्या role था. Then industrialization that happened in the revolution, it is mentioned in TNS. R says as communication between them improved, now the details behind them could be dispersed quickly. So as something happened, it happened better. The details behind new treatments, cures could be dispersed quickly, resulting in better care. So this has a conclusive tone. First, we are talking how industrialization helped. We are finishing up that point. And because now the production was more and all, so similarly, as the communication also improved between physicians, it helped us even more. So we are narrowing down and ending with R. Okay? किसी को कोई doubt? Q gives us a general idea how industrial revolution, we are simply stating industrial revolution was behind advancement here. Then we are describing how industrial revolution was helpful, that is described in TNS. In R, we are taking it further, we are narrowing down. Let's do another one. We start working on this one. Now for this one, you have to arrange all of them. There is no odd. You have to arrange all of them. Okay, there is no odd. I'll give you a few extra seconds since I can't see any answer till now. Okay. इतना टाइम तो उससे ज़्यादा नहीं मिलेगा. Answer is A. C, B, D, E, G, F. Okay. A lot to see and a lot to understand. You need to start understanding the keywords, hint words. Okay, that's gonna help you. When trying to memorize new material, it is easy to assume that the more work you put in, the better you will perform. It's just like in statement. Just imagine ये कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ो, ठीक है? Just imagine आप अकेला लाइन पढ़ोगे, it is easy for you to connect. It is easy for you to understand the message of the line, है ना? कि कुछ नया सीखना है, learn करना है, so the more we work, बहुत अच्छे से learn हो जाएगा. That's how we understand it is an independent sentence. B is a straightforward command here, or not a command but an instruction. That is why we know it starts with a verb. Just dim the lights, sit back, enjoy a few minutes of quiet contemplation, and you will find your memory of the facts you have just learned is far better than if you had attempted to use the moment more productively. ये तो कुछ और बात बोल रहा है. Let's see. Yet, contrast. Taking the occasional downtime to literally do nothing may be exactly what you need. Okay. So, C says taking occasional downtime means reset करो अपने आप को, take a break, and to do literally nothing. And he has explained, dim the lights, sit back, enjoy a few minutes, do nothing. So no doubt C and B were a pair because we have a contrast here in C, and in short we get to know what we have to do. We have to take a downtime. How to take that downtime is mentioned in B. Although it is already well known that we should pace our studies, new research suggests that we should aim for minimal interference during these breaks. These breaks, so abhi breaks kahan hai? We'll figure it out. Okay? Deliberately avoiding any activity that could tamper with the delicate task of memory formation. So distraction minimum rakho. Abhi हमने देखा C and B, occasional downtime, these are the breaks. Still hold on. It means that you need to avoid, it means this phrase is used to explain something further. So you say something and then you want to explain further, you want to take somebody into depth of something. तब हम इसका use करते हैं, है ना? It means that you need to avoid running errands, checking email, surfing. So this is what author is saying ना? Minimal interference during these breaks. तो एक और पक्का पेयर है मेरे पास D और E का. E is explaining D. In the age of information overload, it is worth remembering that our smartphones aren't the only thing that needs a regular recharge. This is a comparison that our body needs recharge too. So F definitely is not the first sentence. It is like a supporting sentence to whatever I have said. I might have said earlier that body needs rest, we need break, mind needs break. So उसको support करते हुए that in this in this age of information overload, we need to understand, just like our phones, we need resting time also to recharge. Basically, this phrase is used, this word is used when you're stressing upon something. You really need to give your brain the chance to complete a recharge with no direction. Both F and G are talking about about the body as if it is a machine that needs recharge. So the tone is same, and author is using a metaphor over here, right? So DECB plus GF, because G में basically is a start करा है. We need a complete recharge. In the age, we need to remember that smartphones aren't the only thing that needs recharge, even we need. So G and F, same tone, same direction की बात है. C and B, पक्का pair. D and E, पक्का pair. Why we are talking about all these things? We're talking about all these things because we started with the point that if we want to memorize something new, it is assumed that we put more time, so we'll be able to do it better. But author is taking us into different directions. So it's the main argument. What exactly we should do to memorize? And D, E, C, B, G, F, बाकी की बात है. Now, since you have pairs, now first relate one pair with A. A says this is how we do it, yet taking downtime. Yet is in contrast with A. So after A, CB will come. Okay, because it is a pair, साथ साथ लगा देंगे. Author is saying people assume more work, better performance. Okay, so this is what people assume. Now author is asking us to do the opposite thing, take break. That is the opposite thing in CB. After talking about the downtime, we are explaining it further that okay, even in the downtime, we need to make sure we are not destroying that downtime, and that is explained in DE. And of course, we are ending in GF with exemplifying our body as machines that requires recharge. So we are arguing why author is saying DE, why author is mentioning that even in the downtime, make sure आप ज़्यादा distracted वगैरह नहीं हो. So this is the flow, okay? Yeah, it was a curveball. Is there anything you would like to ask? You want me to explain something? Any pair that you didn't understand? Anything? You can ask. I can get back to this, the question, and answer you. So next one we have is an RC. RC is in two parts. It's in two slides. You can see here. Okay, these two parts. So I will show you both the parts, both the slides. First of all, also हम पूरी की पूरी RC one go में करेंगे. We will do all the questions back to back in one go. Okay. So that's how we will do the RC, and then I will explain. I hope you people are ready. In case अभी तक like और share नहीं करा है, make sure you do that. Please start reading. Read everything. I know you might be very excited to answer. Is my video getting stuck? Next one. Think an answer. That's okay. Yeah, yeah, you have to answer. I mean, I won't ask you to answer. As soon as you have arrived to an answer, just answer. And my job is simply to show you the slides for like next 5 minutes for all the questions. Answer is para 2. For this one, you don't need to see the second slide because it's a very direct question. Answer to this one is C. Again, you don't need to read everything. This is a specific question related to the last para. So don't expect me to show you everything again. I wonder why you people answered B or C. Just answer one thing. It's okay. I'm not gonna reward you or punish you. Answer is C. Should not take a lot of time. Okay. So whenever like we attempt these questions in the real exam, first of all we cover these which are just meaning of one statement or words meaning or antonym. We first try to complete these. Okay. Now, which of the following is the closest in the meaning to this word predicament is the word mess. Anybody's predicament is the situation where the person is suffering. It's not in our favor. Okay, hence the answer here, the synonymous word is mess. Okay, other words are not even closely related and not at all the ones that would confuse you. Okay, then so the answer for this one was C. Which of the following statements is the author most likely to agree? So such questions, of course, you have to read everything in the passage and then only you can answer. But this particular answer was right there in the beginning. है ना? So since World War II, most countries around the world have come to use GDP as the core metric for prosperity. The GDP measures market output. Now GDP जो है market output measure करता है. If you already know what it is, just skip and read ahead. Governments can fail if this number falls, and so, not surprisingly, governments strive to make it climb. Okay, but striving to grow GDP is not the same as ensuring the well-being of a society. So, GDP does not account for well-being of citizens of country. You can read the options, take some keywords, and try to search those keywords in the passage. जब keywords मिल जाता है, so you can then cross check your point. Okay, so in this case answer was C, which was right there in the first para. Then the second question. Okay, why has the author compared US and Vietnam, the US and Vietnam in the passage? Okay, so answer to this one was D, to illustrate that although GDP paints a rosy picture, the reality may be different. Now GDP को introduce करा है first para में, right? Then second para we get to read that in truth GDP measures everything. The number does not measure health, education, quality, opportunity, state, environment, etc. It does not even measure crucial aspects. Americans got an inkling of this casual connection during the Vietnam War, with military's emphasis on body counts. The weekly tabulation of the number of enemy soldiers killed. Reliance on this morbid metric led US forces to undertake operations that had no purpose except to raise body count. So only this was taken into consideration. Like a drunk looking for his keys, the emphasis on body counts kept the government away from understanding the bigger picture. So they illustrate that although the GDP of US paints a rosy picture, the reality might be different. We see then later on, we continue to read what happened here. So it has little correlation with GDP. The US is the richest country with GDP or whatsoever that suggested a highly efficient economic engine. But the US recorded upward of 1 lakh deaths by June, whereas Vietnam with this GDP had zero. From this comparison, we get to see that GDP तो बहुत अच्छा है, but reality may be different. Okay, so this was very clearly mentioned in the second and third. This one was a question where a sentence was given. So you were supposed to break the passage down in paragraphs to answer this one. So first of all, read the sentence carefully. GDP is almost universally used to gauge how well a society is doing. In fact, it is a measure of market activity, nothing more. Okay. Now, where can I use this? In truth, GDP measures everything, as Senator Robert Kennedy famously said. Okay? Now understand, this is in the favor of GDP. This particular line, it says that GDP is almost universally used. Same tone we get in second para, that into GDP measures everything, because in the previous we are saying GDP is not same as the well-being. कहीं ना कहीं we are in the first para, author is not completely agreeing with GDP, connecting it with well-being. But the second one, it illustrates GDP further. Okay, so you see here that GDP के favor में what GDP does is mentioned in second one, and that otherwise later on we are talking about the US and Vietnam and all. So this is the sentence, GDP is almost universally used to gauge how well a society is doing. In fact, of market activity, nothing more is this what you get here. Okay, and that's why para 2 mein this line could fit. Next one was something to be filled in blanket. So it says it does not even measure की बात हो रही है, crucial aspects of the economy such as sustainability. Americans got, and suddenly we are talking about Americans. So maybe we are explaining something further. A good indicator of the true health, it is a very specific point, is the health of its citizen, but we are not talking about it. So A is gone. Over the past decade, leading scholars have designed a broad set of measures to help steer societies towards future. But again, what is the measurement going on? What is not getting measured? Does not measure, does not even measure. That is what author is talking about at this point. So what we measure matters, though, because it guides what we do. So how we do what we do, he has explained using example of Americans. That's why C was the right answer. This D option was altogether a new point to be inserted at this in this blank. Okay. Primary purpose of the last para. What does last para say? Now it's talking about healthcare sector. So the US healthcare sector, for example, took pride in using hospital beds efficiently. No bed was left unused. In consequence, when COVID reached America, there were only 2.8 hospital beds per 1,000 people, far fewer than other advanced countries. Doing what without paid sick leave in meat packing plants increased profits in the short run, also increased GDP, but workers could not afford to stay home when sick. Similarly, China made protective masks cheaper than the US could. That meant, however, pandemic hit and China needed far more masks than usual. Hospital staff in the US could not get enough. So somewhere it was lacking. So the last para here is to highlight how relentless drive to maximize GDP has led to the worsening of healthcare. Healthcare took a dip here in the US and made it more vulnerable. Hospital staff नहीं है, number of beds नहीं है, vulnerability बढ़ गई है. So there you go. C was your answer. The highlighted sentence was given here. Refer to the sentence in bold. What does author seek to convey? In fact, the American economy is more like an ordinary car. Author is comparing American economy with a car whose owner saved on gas by removing spare tire, which was fine until he got a flat tire. जब ये हुआ, then it realized that it was not a good decision to remove and save money on spare tire. So the US focused on short-term gains, and the problems that could arise in the long term were disregarded. Long term में we would think ना कि अच्छा long term में if something happens to one of the four tires, then spare tire is very important. Though right now I think it is maybe waste of money, but in the time of emergency it is actually something we must plan. So यही अमेरिका ने किया, right? It is something I think those who are interested in cars and driving and all, they will understand better. So C was your answer. Okay. So we are done here. Thank you so much. I think all questions are clear. There should be no doubt, right? I'm gonna meet you guys at 8 p.m. now. And till then, take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.